Hello and welcome to a recording of Destiny 2. I have no idea what this recording will be of, other than I know it will be of something. That it will be a recording of Destiny 2. Now, this recording will possibly be of Final Shape, because that is what I have on right now. But that would be spoilers for you because you haven't played the Final Shape. So instead, I will be doing nothing. I will be doing the part of the Renegades campaign because you know nothing about Renegades and you will probably never play Renegades. Whoever the hell you are. So let's just get into it, I guess. If you're curious, this is, well, no. This is my loadout. It is nothing special. I mean, not really, anyways. But it is a loadout, so. Jesus Christ. I forgot I played the hell out of this, out of one of these in one of my other, characters.
You and Arnor make a pretty good fire team, hero. Even if you did use my face as a barricade. And now that we got that Imperium disk in hand, we're gonna need more than one hard-headed Praxic to decrypt it. We're gonna need the local crime syndicates. I've got some irons in the fire with Spider for an intro. Fellow miscreants like that only respect two things: money and blood. We'll get you set up on building a reputation for yourself out here on Tharsis, gaining leverage on the local miscreants. But as the 9 weapon, there's something you gotta know first. I know I sold you on this job as a scam on the Imperium, but you heard on that ship what I've known all along. The 9 are back in the Imperium at the top. They surprised me with that junior dredging, but they're pulling his strings, too. I've had the same nightmare since Kepler. A vision that runs and smells and tastes on repeat every time I close my eyes. And in my heart, I know the threat. If I don't do it, they hurt her. Back on that ship,
much of this part is
Welcome to the new Mars.
which gets old.
While the Vanguard was off fighting the good
fast.
fight, the Syndicates took over. Now the only law in
It's
Tharsis...
very... This is bulk what you do in Renegades. Many of the missions are simply simply just talking and walking around. This is something you should not have to fight. Man. This is not really a game anymore. You think hell at this point is already at capacity? It's a weird thing to ask. No, it's sure not important for now.
I think you'll find our friendship agreeable. It's been a pleasure.
Especially
What can a simple operator like me
never
do
know.
for the hero of the Vanguard? You may go.
I'm not good at speaking. That's why I'm not speaking now. Because you don't need to speak now. I could shut the hell up. What do I plan to do with this? Just don't want to. That's why. Don't want to shut the fuck up. Because if I did this, that was recording. But no. It'd probably be better if I stopped talking. What the hell?
Guardian,
Why
this
am I
is
doing the
Honor.
Twin Peaks thing?
Don't respond. This is a one-way channel. Low profile, no bleed.
What the? Why?
Drifter
Why Twin
might
Peaks?
actually have a plan.
I never even watched
The
it.
Imperium is scrambling, cauterizing loose ends on
I
Mars and
never even
Venus.
watched Twin Peaks. That's
The data he stole has a
weird.
secret that they don't want getting out. It's stored on his ghost, Blue. But it'll take time to decrypt, and tools we don't have. And it's worse. She can't speak. Spider wants to help us. He's willing to give us the ghost parts we need to repair Blue. But he wants us to track a lost courier of his in the lawless frontier in return. Convince Spider that you'll play his game.
What fucking shader do I have on my ship? Oh, it's the...
My dear
So-
Guardian, I need you. Multiple syndicates are in conflict out here in the Expanse, killing for territory and resources. Very profitable disorder. Hazards come with the spoils, of course. I've lost contact with one of my salvage crews. If you'll track the flare, locate what that crew was carrying, I'll make sure you have the parts to help Drifter's ghost.
Okay. Fucking god. Is it gonna force me into this one? It's gonna force me into using... God damn it. That could... Jeez, of it. No, it wants me to use it. Okay. Freehold and extracts. Context, Freehold was this location you can visit this. Fuck!
Apologies. Oh, apologies for the landing. The Guardian regeneration is blocked out here on the Tharsis frontier. The Imperium's doing via their beacon tech after you escape their flagship. I heard from the Drifter you started a riot to escape the Imperium flagship. Now there are riots with every breath of ether in the Expanse. Behold, the glory of the Syndicate border wars.
Not an exaggeration. The syndicates are the real
I know how
powers
to...
here,
I know
carving
how.
up territory on the frontier.
Anyways, Freehold was this location you could visit. It was located on that game's version of Mars. This game also had a version of Mars, but that has since been removed with the release of Beyond Light. A fact that I still mourn to this day, because I joined like days after Beyond Light released, and it was a pain. It was a real pain knowing that I could not play one of play all of Destiny 2. A real pain.
Careful. These decks are foot soldiers for the Tharsis Reformation. Each one possesses individual sentience. They're shrewd entrepreneurs. In time, perhaps we can get a few of them in our pocket. Find a way to leverage the Vex network.
Don't worry about taking a few of them apart.
But
If anything, they'll be
there's
impressed with your gunplay.
plenty of recordings on
Only
YouTube.
way to get
You can
respect
probably
out
find
here.
them. Not by me, because I was banned. debate going to be very long video. Just because this is raw recording. I plan to edit it in some manner. Maybe I can find a good software. Yes, I did get recorded or finding a recording software.
No signs of my salvage Kindle. The flare is
Which is
still active up ahead.
strange, because no one does it. No one should do that. This is on OBS, obviously. One of the best recording softwares, maybe.
My
The only
filters
recording
are showing
software if you
residue
have
from
it.
shock rifle impacts. Bikers took out my crew.
But
Shame there's
it
no
should
eliciting
suffice at
solidarity
least.
here on the frontier. And still no sign of the cargo. I can't relinquish these ghost parts without a guardian.
Drifter's
So
ghost
I should
is
probably give
heavily
some background.
modified,
I started playing Destiny
She's
2
an
during
amalgam.
Beyond Light.
patched with parts from other dead ghosts. Whatever effects
I
that modification
didn't own a
produced
computer at
makes her unique.
I
We need her
started
back
playing
in play.
this game on another account, but that one got hacked. So I had to start again on a separate
You
account,
found my associate,
which is the one I'm using now.
Praise the 7 stars. He can fend for himself. The cargo must be nearby. I pray it's intact.
The concern on this account during Season of Blocks, which, yeah, isn't a huge departure from what it's but, it was still very much at the tail end of the Beyond Light era. So to speak. And then this game frequently since switching on multiple platforms. At first was GeForce. Oh yeah, I played the Beyond Light using GeForce Now, which was a was this like was I use past tense, but I don't know if it's still up. It may be, but I wouldn't count on it. It was this service where if you make like a video where use their systems to play your game on your Steam deck. The system, or the service, it was alright. It wasn't the best because of internet connection issues that plagued my gameplay back in the day. And it was also just very unreliable and spotty overall.
Looks like
Paired that with the fact that I used probably the worst controller to play any game with. It was just like MOBA controller. That wasn't not like MOBA the genre. That was the brand MOBA.
Just another syndicate wearing
Something like that. It was awful. One of the sticks, one of the sticklets, L3 or R3 or something like that, broke. And let me tell you what that did. It didn't let me do finishers in Destiny 2. It didn't let me melee in, I think, Metro Last Light? Metro 2033 Last Light. Because they're the same engine, basically.
I've taken the liberty of installing a robust assault response
something like
aboard your jump
it's something else. There's something else in play.
requires salvation from on high. It's a war self in the expanse.
It was just a shitty controller all around. Yeah, I think when the shoulder button stopped working on something, it was just bad. It was just awful. But when he started playing Destiny 2 again, later in the Witch Queen era,
Imperium. They must have powerful resources to
I
have
played
total
on
control over Mars and
PS4,
Venus.
or PlayStation 4. Mainly because at the time that I started, my dad moved in to a larger house, and he had been gifted not given isn't the right word, trusted with a PS4 for one of his friends, The issue there, though, is that I still have a PS4, and I live somewhere else. I do not, have contact with my dad's friend, and he does not ask for it back. I'm pretty sure he did straight up give it to us. That's the way it is. That's the way it probably, has been. Actually. One of the other issues is that, it was an older PS4. Not like the old PS4, but like, I think a slim model. And it only has like 500 gigabytes or something like that on drive board. So we had to get a hard drive for it, and everything. That was that. And yeah, it's basically just fine now. If you're wondering why the hell I'm running this on, I am not running this on PS4. My PS4 has basically been dead there since it got a Steam Deck, and dead there for good since I got the laptop and playing it. So there's your answer to that, if you're actually wondering. Now back to my history with this game. I have played Lightfall, which is Lightfall was all. Lightfall was kind of when Lightfall was probably the era I played most in. Just because of circumstances. There were long weekends that year. Now I'm really for a summer house. It was dedicated to time to Destiny. Which, as sad as that sounds, it was very that was also the year I got into Gunny. really that. There are a lot of factors that factored the year I played most. It was sad. And then, actually, yeah, I think I have very high battle pass ranks, or season pass ranks, and most of the season
And there's
passes
our
down
end
here.
to the syndicates.
And
Outstanding.
then,
Without the Vanguard's help, we'll need assets wherever we can find them. Good work, Guardian.
they were very much everything was alive. No, I got high season ranks that year consistently. And then Season of the Witch, which I think got like 117. It was 100 something. Might have been a high 100.
Is flooded with transmissions. Drifter's Ghost.
Which, because like Final Shape was delayed, it ended up being a very long season, which is fine. I don't mind that it was a long season. I do mind, however, that Lightfall was very kind of mid. Its seasons were good. Don't get me wrong, the seasons were good. But Lightfall was kind of middling. It was a filler episode. It didn't do much. It really didn't do much.
Oh, wishing you many happy returns, Renegade.
And then Final Shape released, and it was just magnificent. Okay. Into the Light. Into the Light was this weird filler episode after a filler episode that kind of bridged the gap between Season of the Wish and Final Shape because of the delay. It was like kind of the April update for Destiny 2. Even though it kind of wasn't. Hold on. I know there's some content from Into the Light still in the game. I don't know if it introduced any exotics. I'm leaning on no, just because it was very much a filler episode. So, while I'm on the topic of this, Tessellation is a weird gun. This is technically a Final Shape weapon. But if you look right here, that is the icon for Season of the Wish, which is a Lightfall season. So, and you can see it on New Land Beyond as well. This was released during Season of the Witch as a pre-order bonus. I think pre-ordered the game. Pre-ordered Final Shape. Maybe because of Tessellation. Probably because it was just the Final Shape. But yeah, there were no exotics for season for Into the Light. So yeah, there's that. It's not really an April update because of that. April update had like Whisper of the Worm, I think. It either introduced Whisper of the Worm or Zen Meteor or something. But hold on, let me look
What
this up.
catches your eye?
April update. Right. Okay, so April update added some story missions, strikes, and like. Okay, yeah. The only thing it added is Zen Meteor, which was a PlayStation exclusive. I should add. This is before Bungie was acquired by Sony. So it's weird that they did that way back when. Considering that Bungie also developed Halo, which is strange. It's a very
It's been a pleasure.
very strange thing to think about. Maybe it was spite. Maybe it was.
I think you'll find our friendship agreeable.
It was just weird.
Oh, you have an eye for craftsmanship. What is your Earth?
Anyways, tangent over, I guess.
Did it work?
Final shape was
Doorknob! You lousy, awful, stupid, waste of light, bottom-feeding leech!
Hello to you too.
Final
You
shape was a
disloyal,
very
coin-flipping,
very
ghost-ditching,
hype
scraggly
DLC.
beard,
You
two-timer!
have to understand that at
If you
this
had a
point,
mom, she wouldn't call you! Oh, and the only time you...
at this point, DLC was very hype because of this. What? I'm speaking in circles. The DLC was hyped because, not only was it, the finale, the big finale of
Make a
the,
deal.
basically Destiny 2 as a whole. Of course, it didn't end then and there. We're playing this after all, but
What is your Earth?
it was the end of Destiny 2's at the time main arc, which involved some guy called the Witness. I guess. But it was very good. It was very cool as well. Very, very cool. That's all. I think, yeah, I played the hell out of Final Shape when it released. It was the shit. It was very much the shit. Now, I'm gonna talk about a DLC I have not played. I started playing it, I think. And then I lost my account, or I ran out of time. Because, fun fact, not everything was deleted when Beyond Light released. Only the Year 1 stuff was gone. Only the Year 1 campaign was gone. Forsaken was still around. And I had just enough time to start Forsaken, but not enough time to finish Forsaken. Which is a pain and a sting in my chest that is horrible. And I wish I could play Forsaken. For real. It... The hell, Jordan? Anyways, that's my one gripe with this game. It removes content very easily. You cannot play the original campaign. You cannot play Prison of Osiris or Warmind. You cannot play those DLCs because they have been removed. They have been removed for years and years, and I hate Bungie for that. They are stinky poo-poo heads, and I think that they should put that back in, even though there's no updates anymore, and the game is already bloated. Because it matters. It really does matter. Destiny 2 is not currently a complete game. It is a game that has had its backend removed, and called a complete game. It is not a complete game. It is again, it is not a complete game. It is a game that has had the top some, that has had some cut off the top and the back, and it's called a complete haircut. And they call it a pompadour. It's a goddamn flat top. That's what it is. It's still a game, but you can't call it a complete game, is what I'm saying. Anyways, that's my rant. And then, and then Edge of Fate released, and it did some weird stuff.
If I
For
don't
instance,
follow what
if
fate
you
laid out for
no,
me.
that's not okay. If you look here, my power level is 475. In the last weeks, I think, of the final shape, it was somewhere in the
Now that Blue's
2000s.
tinkered up, she's going whole hog on that
If you're wondering
Imperium
why
data.
they did this,
Encryption's a pile, though. It's gonna take
it was
time.
because of power
Dig?
creep.
We will reveal the conspiracy surrounding the Imperium and the
Power
Nine.
creep is
Despair.
something that the game struggled with even
Did you know
during
him?
the Beyond
Not
Light era.
personally, but
Because-
the dredgings, that's my baggage.
It used to be
I'll clean it up.
that
First, we gotta make good on our deal with the Pikers.
like 800 was a very, very high level. Then it became 1,000, and then it became 11,000, and 12,000, and so on and so forth. And then we got 2,000 somehow.
Vanguard may admonish
Um,
us, but they
and then-
understand the necessity of our actions.
That is the
They
only.
won't interfere.
That's the only thing I think they
Do you
did right
trust these pikers?
with.
Hell no. But if it gets us what we need to move one step ahead of the Imperium,
That was the only right
Of the
thing
nine.
they did with.
I'll roll those dice.
One of the only right things they did with Edge of Fate is that they decreased the overall power level back to like 10. Because if you look at Destiny 1, and we'll get to where Destiny 1 fits in this. Destiny 1 power level, at least on PlayStation 3. I have the PlayStation 4 version, but I haven't played it yet. Is the cap
Your
is
next
somewhere in
target shouldn't
the
be far.
300s.
The Tharsis Reformation
Um,
or the Conductor's cohort, no?
Our character is already
Dropped out of her
power
control.
crept way past
Traded
it.
in that cozy
If you've
collective
seen
for
some of my
slick
gameplay.
threads. Their boss owes me.
If you've seen some of my
In
gameplay
cards,
performances,
among
it
other
is
things.
very much a power crap, power fantasy game. It was weird. Yeah, I'll end it by saying this. It was a weird better.
quarry
It
flees.
very much got better.
Pursue it.
One of the
Back
weird.
on target,
Okay,
hero. Let's
so
push. We don't have
this is
time
no
to
longer
waste.
thing with the recent end update. But there's a time when unstable cores were very much a thing. What unstable cores did, and all they did, was they let you upgrade pieces of gear that were not new gear with new gear. What the hell is new gear? It was this category of gear that was basically denoted that that gear was the best gear in the game. It was strange. Because no one really asked for new gear. I'm not on the socials. I don't think I would. I'm not really on the socials. I am very much not into social media because it's not really, it's not my thing. It's not my bag, maybe. I'm not active on it. I work maybe, but I got very active. But I don't hear anything about new gear. It was weird. A lot of things in Entertainment were weird. For instance, Atlas, which could be to Edge of Fate, maybe not, probably not. But Edge of Fate introduced a new transportation system called the Matter Spark. Matter Spark is a orb of dark energy that you transform into. And that's it. You can attack, and it replaces your sparrow while you're on Kepler. And other than that, it doesn't serve a purpose. You can't use Matter Spark outside of Kepler. I assume it's because of reasons, but it is a strange decision to make. Really, because that's a somewhat similar situation with let's say Deep Sight. There's a weird habit with Destiny 2 with creating expansion exclusive abilities. You can see it with the running people which I'm barely even using. Because holy shit, I don't even need to use them. Why? And it's the same with Witchcom, it's the same with Nightfall, with Grapple Points, Luna, it's the same. Well, not really the same with Final Shape, because Final Shape added Ascended? No, wait. Prismatic hotspots? That all they did, really, was charge your prismatic class and allow you to ascend faster. And those were exclusive to the Final Shape. Otherwise, you have to use multiple damage sources in both light and dark. Both light and dark damage types. And it's, again, I know I'm repeating myself, because it's very strange. Not, oh no, I'm lying. It's not really strange. It's a very good gameplay loop, but if you add like a charging spot, then let us use that charging spot outside of DLC. Again, I know it would be hard to implement because every expansion has to be its own thing, but the stores of the expansions aren't really their own thing. Then, if you play the free-based version of that too, you're not really playing a game, or really playing any true version of this. You're playing this chopped and bastardized version that just kind of ruins the experience. In my eyes, you should apply at least get Final Shape, or just get the collection that's available on Steam. Maybe not the Steam version, but that one's just about it. It's not really an addition. But if you're on PS5 or something and get like
Don't let this obsession drive you into a trap.
that
What
one's
the nine say is not
about the
absolute.
price of a full game,
You needn't worry.
and you do get a full
Maybe this
game's
is what the
worth
prophecy
of
meant by
content,
buying the
maybe
nine.
more,
Gods don't
because
tend
this
to
game's
like being
been
tied
running
down.
for
Maybe
so
he's
long.
expecting us to slug it out with the Imperium to prevent extinction.
What the nine present to us is only the surface. There is a deeper truth to
It
uncover.
is
Give me
a
time.
weird situation to be in,
Patience.
because not only is each DLC like a game, like Final Shape is $60, or at least it was $60 on release, and then the price went down. It seems like $60, and then just kind of ended, I guess. Not really ended, but it started showing up the bundles and stuff. And that's kind of where Destiny 2 is at. Renegades is just kind of Star Wars. It's pretty much just Star Wars adapted to Destiny 2. It isn't a bad thing. I still have to get around to watching the original Star Wars films. Like, original trilogy and prequel. I'm trying to watch those at least. I haven't, because I haven't heard great things about the sequels. I'm sure they're fine films. Personally, I just don't think I'll enjoy watching. But I have played the Jedi games. Do not standard for, which is very much not a standard for watching the films. Those games and films are very different. But I think think in terms of this is it pretty much is. I feel like it's right on the mark. Because I know about the Death Star. I know about the Empire, but everyone knows about the Death Star, and everyone knows about the Empire. I know about the Inquisitors. Shit. I am saying this. The point is, I know that it's just Star Wars Rescue 2. This feels like one of those Monopoly spin-offs that they do. Not like Fortnite Monopoly, which changed the game. Something like Miss Monopoly or something. Where they just kind of changed the rules. Only kind of, and you're basically just paying for a different skin. Maybe this Monopoly was a bad example. Something like, I'm sure there's just a Star Wars Monopoly version out there. There's probably a Star Wars Monopoly version out there. And it's probably exactly like what it. I know there's Target. There's Target version of. Wait. No, that's a bad example. That's a bad. I just want to talk about like this Target version of Game of Life and how it's nothing like Game of Life. They kept the spinner. That's more like
They're just in our way. The real fight's with the Imperium.
Something for us to look forward to.
Risk. Like, no, that's also a bad example. Oh god, there's an example I can think of, but it's not coming to me. That's pretty weird and tricky. Because I know there's versions of war games that change literally nothing except how the war works. Candyland. It's like Candyland. You just play Candyland. You just draw a card and then go through space, and that's it. It's fucking Candyland. For God's sake, it's Candyland. There's probably versions of Candyland that are just Candyland, but it's like that one guy's last thing. And it's driving me insane. I'm trying to think of one guy's like, there's probably Monopoly Fraser. There's probably Monopoly Fraser? And I just can't think of it, because I haven't seen Monopoly Fraser. I don't know what the hell it looks like. Everyone looks like it. There's probably Monopoly Seinfeld. Seinfeld is a fun franchise, property, whatever. Monopoly Risk. Transformers Risk. I meant Transformers Risk, and then Monopoly Risk came out. There's probably Transformers Risk. No, there is Transformers. I've seen it. I have one of the, like, what is small tokens that it comes with? Because we were at Sabres one day, and saw it, and now my dad has like Megatron. Is that a Megatron? It might be a Starshooter. Anyways, I've been sidetracked. This is just Destiny 2 Star Wars. Sort of things. It is Destiny 2 kitted to look like Star Wars. I don't even have to like prove it to you. Because when I got this game, it came with cosmetics. Because I purchased this one version that was that was available on like I got a version kind of the key I got was from like Humble Bundle, and that included the like Year of Fate version. And it's fine. No, it wasn't fine. That's how I got the game. Whatever, I lost track of what I was talking about. This, and then after Renegades, which is this game, we got the final update, because between the launch of Renegades and the Monument of Triumph update, Marathon release. And I own Marathon. I will not deny it.
Hey, Spider. Our weapon's ready for a planet-side pickup.
But Destiny is a
hawk.
very different beast from Marathon.
You picked that up on the Vanguard sets.
For context of what the hell Marathon is, why I'm talking about it
near Mars, but away from orbit.
like this, Marathon
Their
is
signature is
a...
off the nine.
well, it was a series of Doom clones. And I used the word Doom clone very specifically. That was developed by Bungie before they made Halo. Back in like the 90s. And it was available only on Mac. Let me make that very clear. It was only available on Mac. Like a 90s Mac. If you know anything about computers, you know that Mac is a very weird system to pick. Not because it's like it's a hard game system to program for. I'm sure it's not. But there's a reason there's so little games that run on Mac OS. If you look on Steam and select the Mac filter, there's probably going to be a lot less results that come up. Compared to, like, Windows, or even Linux. I mean, Linux has more games than Mac OS. And Linux is only, like, it's only used for, like, three-ish mainline, products, which are all made by, most of which are made by Valve. You have the Steam Deck and the Steam Machine, which are hardware which run on Steam OS. Importantly, they are not like consoles, they're computers. You can use them as a computer. And I think Steam is adding a code to Steam Machine. They've uploaded like drivers for Steam Machine already, which is insane. It's insane to think about. They like talk about, because no one really puts up drivers if you want to change your OS. And then Valve does. That's what Valve's good. That's why Valve is good. But that's the reason why I don't play on my Steam Deck, because Destiny, for those of you who don't know this, Destiny 2 loathes Linux. And it's a weird thing to pick out. I'm sure Destiny 2 could run on Linux.
If it comes
The issue
down to it,
is that
I store the Imperium's data. It's me, Bear once.
the issue is that
If we got our backs to a wall,
the
just let me
anti-cheat
play my hand.
that
You will not have your back to a
Bungie
wall,
uses.
because it will
And-
be
and,
to
like,
mine
I think
and the
both,
Guardians.
You don't know what
Destiny
the land
2
can take
and
from us,
Marathon?
Harris. I've felt it, and I've seen
I
it.
should probably get back to Marathon,
They'll
but
rip the years away until
it
we got
hates
nothing.
Linux.
Whatever
It's
they
kernel
reach out
based,
to take,
which is
we
fine,
will
I
hold
guess.
fast together.
But because it's kernel based,
Trust.
it automatically, I don't know what happens behind the scenes, but it pretty much just automatically bans anyone that uses a Linux machine, which is, it's a very, very strange distinction to make, because in my opinion, in my experience at least, very few Linux people actually use Linux to cheat. It's almost always like because Windows has way too much bloat. Especially Windows 11.
Communion attempt number 34. I begin.
I
hold the ritual space.
and
Tithe my offering to the celestial bodies.
it's
of
just
soul.
it's a lot.
Formless
There's
bodies.
reasons
Take
why
refuge
people
in
use
my
Linux,
limbs.
and there's reasons why
Poetry
people
bled
use
from
Windows.
the ache
Windows
of
is easier
dark
out of
matter.
box to set up.
Grant speech
You,
with my offering.
You've likely
Grant
been using
speech
Windows
with
for
my
a
offering.
majority of
You
your
may
life.
speak now.
Everyone,
I offer
I say that a
I
majority
offer warmth.
have been using
I offer
Linux for the
taste.
majority of their
I
life.
offer glimmer. I offer tithes. I
Because
master
it's just-
the hive.
Because
I
it's
am not
just so
supplicating
pervasive
myself
now,
to a stranger
you
in order
can't
to
really
communicate.
escape Linux.
I do not need an emissary.
It's there.
Why
It's not
do you
going
refuse
away
me?
anytime soon. And
Communion
it's
attempt number 35. I begin.
yeah. I don't hate Linux. I mean, I don't hate Windows. Have you been saying Linux? I meant Windows. I don't hate Windows. It's an okay system, but it's not the best. It has its drawbacks. It has its limitations. Like with Linux, it's very low bloat. At least the version I've used, I've only used SteamOS, but it just seems like a good distribution all around. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Linux cannot run Destiny 2 or Marathon or Call of Duty because of the anti-cheat that they use, and I have to use Windows. Is this a big issue for me? No. Because my laptop runs Destiny 2 just fine.
What can I do for you?
Just fine. At like a solid 40. Maybe 20. But it can handle 2. What it cannot really handle is Marathon.
Are you ready?
Marathon takes up a lot of resources. It is on a very small screen and it looks terrible. And that small screen is blown up to full screen. So this crisp HUD is very large on Marathon. And I have to like set it to 70 or 60 or something down there below the hundreds, just so I can see like an eighth of my screen, at least an additional eighth of my screen. I know what you're gonna say. Just turn off the performance display. I don't want to, particularly because this metric right here is how I gauge if a game is pretty much running good on my laptop. Like here, yeah, this game is running fine, fantastic. Marathon, it's what this percentage easily goes up to 120%. It is, and it gets my laptop hot. And as I was saying before, Marathon, the original trilogy, was
Exchange.
the original trilogy were Doom clones. If you don't know what the hell a Doom clone is,
May it change your fate.
a Doom clone is not a boomer shooter. A boomer shooter tries to emulate
I hope to be here again.
the style of an old ass game without having the limitations of an old ass game and without having to directly compete with an old ass game. Marathon, on the other hand, is a Doom clone. A Doom clone is a game that came out during the era. Say for instance, Duke Nukem 3D, Hexen. Hexen was probably actually a id Software thing. Or, Strife. or Blood. Blood is a good example of a Doom clone. Not that it is necessarily a Doom clone. It's not. It's its own thing. But stylistically speaking, for the sake of the genre, it is considered, at least in my eyes, a Doom clone. It's also kind of a boom shooter. No, a movement shooter, kind of. But I haven't played the game to fully back up that claim. I heard that claim in a Hey Peter video. I have no jurisdiction to back it up. I'm just saying what I heard. I'd have to play Blood for myself to back it up, and I don't want to even pretend I have played Blood. It would be a disgrace to the game and myself if I try to talk. If I try to even pretend that, pretend that I've played Blood. I have not. I have never played Blood in my life. I have played Duke Nukem, and that is and I will say that is very similar to Doom. The verticality, of course, is not similar to Doom, but it is very similar to some Doom mods I've played, like Ashes 2030 or something like that. I don't remember what it was called, but I know it was called Ashes.
Things seem like they're back to normal around here. It's like nothing changed. But with the Traveler awake now, that can't be true. Things are going to get better, right?
And Sunder. It is very similar to... I'd say it's more Sunder or something like that than Ashes, because Ashes is much more in the vein of, like, I'd say Metro. Yeah, I want to say Ashes is more like Metro. Anyways, getting back on topic, the original Marathon was, trying to be a Doom competitor. And this Marathon is very much not that. New Marathon, as I'm gonna call it, is an extraction shooter. An extraction shooter is a shooter. It's like a battle royale, except instead of dropping from the sky, you enter at a certain point and then extract at certain points. You do not drop from the sky, look for loot, and just try to survive and be the last one standing. You have to get in with whatever gear you want to bring. Do whatever the hell you're supposed to do in a contract, which is basically the missions of Marathon, and then get out still alive. Kind of. I want to say kind of like kind of like Helldivers. Of course, in Helldivers, you can functionally as a respawn. It's different characters. It's different people every time, canonically. In Marathon, you only have one shot every run. If you die, you die. That's it. You go back to the lobby. Or something like that. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And that's Marathon. Marathon released between recently September. No, September is wrong. It released in like February. And because it released in February, it came directly between Shadow and Order. It came directly between Renegades and what was at the time going to be Shadow and Order. Which eventually became Monuments of Triumph. Monument to Triumph. After Destiny 2 was basically killed. They essentially just brought out back and shot. I use my words harshly, because that is essentially what happened.
What cipher
what happened is that Bungie canceled Destiny 2 while people were still working on Shadow and Order. People at Bungie did not know that they were essentially dead men walking until they heard that what they were working on was going to be scrapped. At the same time, we learned that everything they were working on was going to be scrapped. Which is, in my opinion, and probably everyone's opinion, that is an asshole move. That is an asshole move. You do not do that. You never do that. You...
Come say hi at the shooting range sometime.
I have a very long and varied history with getting mad at cancellations. I say long and varied, it's probably like 2 examples. Destiny 2 is one of them. The other is, Transformers Reactivate. This is very off topic. But, in like 2023, somewhere in that ballpark. Or 2021, I think it was. Somewhere. It was announced that a new Destiny, not Destiny, a new Transformers game would be released. And if you know nothing about me, or after this, let it be known, I love Destiny 2. I do love Destiny 2, that's already meant. I love Transformers. It is one of those franchises that has directly impacted my life. It is that big of a deal to me. I have loved it since I was a kid, and I will probably continue to love it until I die. So, yeah, new Transformers game. Of course it's gonna be big. What the fuck happened there? Of course it's gonna be big for me. We haven't had a game since Devastation released, which was, it was this game, like, it was this tie-in, or I think, for the Combiner Wars series. Combiner Wars toy line, I think. And the Combiner Wars, or was either a tie-in for Combiner Wars or Age of Extinction. or maybe well, no, Age of Extinction got Dark Spark, which was an okay game. That was more of a shovelware game for me personally. It, it was like one of those weird. It was like the Wally game. It had to tie into a film, so they just used the film and then made the game, and it was like shipped in days of the game's release, of the movie's release. And it was okay. It was just okay. But I'm trying to look for the restate of Devastation. $2015. So it's not really a tie into anything actually. I guess. But it did release after Age of Extinction, and that might have influenced some of the roster. But it primarily is its own thing.
Greetings.
Except for the fact that Combiner Wars is kind of influenced it. For context, Combiner Wars was a toy line, in the generations category. That shit. That's the focus on combiners, which are these like, if Transformers are big, combiners are bigger. If you catch my drift. Most famous combiner is probably Devastator. Just because, and if you look at Transformers Devastation's cover art, he's featured very prominently on the cover. And that, in my opinion, at least, is not an accident. Is that a Steam Deck? Jesus Christ, they're just taking the fucking piss. Anyways. Devastator being featured on the main cover of Transformers Devastation is not an accident. They absolutely knew that, they were absolutely told that Transformers was getting a toy line and that they had to tie their game to the toy line. And yeah. And if you could throw in Devastator and if you could throw in a tie-in to the toy line at the end, that would be great. So there's this weird after-credit scene that leads up to nothing, where Optimus Prime and, like, not Ratchet, because Ratchet was snubbed from the game, and Wheeljack talk about, like, we have to do the strongly combine, and then they show a diagram of Optimus Maximus, which was this weird as shit Toyline exclusive combiner. I think he was an IDW or something? Maybe an IDW. Because, again, IDW probably had to tie in with the toy line, because, and there's an entire wiki page on this, by the way. There's an entire wiki page just called "To Sell Toys," and that's most of what happened here. Most of this was just to sell toys. There was no love. Zero love in that end credits sequence. But, god damn it, again sidetracked again. Point is, we have not had an over-the-shoulder Transformers shooter in like 10 years at that point. Because War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, which were released around this, like, if around the same time period as Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, both of which are very good games. You should play them because they are still available, unlike War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, which fetch very high numbers today. Those were very good games. I love them. I love them to death. They are absolutely amazing. They were delisted in like 2018, I want to say? 2018, 2019. Somewhere around there. And because they were delisted, you cannot buy them anymore. So now, and like the only Transformers games available now are like hold on, I'm looking this up. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice. Oh, okay. Why is the page still up? I can look at the page for Transformers Devastation. It has not been taken down. Can't buy it, of course, because the game is out of order. But you can still see the page. That's anyways, the only games, Transformer games, you can buy on Steam currently are Transformers Earthspark Expedition, which, looking at the screenshots, seems to be it's look at the trailers. This is more like the Transformers Prime game that was on the Wii. I played that for a bit. I had it through GameFly or something. GameFly was this like game subscription service, which worked like Netflix did back in the day, where you would order DVDs or whatever, and they would ship them to your house in an envelope or something. These shifts are killing me. And then there's Transformers Galactic Trials, which is like, it's a racing game. It looks like shovelware slop. No Transformers game should look like shovelware slop. I'm not expecting every Transformers game to be something like Witcher 3 levels of quality or God of War levels of quality. I just want it to be like cohesive. I want it to feel like a good game. God damn it, I'm off topic again. Anyways, Transformers Reactivate was cancelled. And the pain is still there. I have not moved on from it. Nor do I want to move on from it. Because I fucking hate Hasbro for that. I know it's not their fault, and I know it's not Splash Damage's fault. Splash Damage is the studio that was responsible for Reactivate. But we had nothing on Transformers Reactivate until after its cancellation, and we got leaks on the game. All we had to go off of was like a teaser trailer, and
We're
like,
assisting the Piker Syndicate for help in turn. Drifter was right.
Four
The Imperium
figures,
might be experimenting
five,
with anti-light tech.
because they.
So we'll do some demolition on a spot the Syndicate's claim was a test site for
Because they
Imperium
replaced
weapons
Bumblebee
and
as,
see
like,
what turns up.
Working with the crime syndicates? Don't tell me you've gone renegade.
In Studio Series.
We don't have official support, sir.
Way before.
Glad you'd be too
like
busy with your hands tied to call directly.
Months before.
Pleasant surprise.
Reactivate was cancelled, which it fucking hurts, man. It fucking hurts. We knew nothing about this game, and then it got cancelled. It's awful. Just awful. That same pain is in Destiny 2. Destiny 2, the Transformers Reactivate. Awful shit. Awful shit. At least you can play Destiny 2. You cannot play Reactivate. Again, we only have gameplay.
Commander, how's the city
leaks.
holding up?
We're at the mercy of
We never got a
microphenomena
gameplay trailer
happening
because the
across
game
the
never
world.
got
Matter
past the
transmutating.
beta phase,
Air turning
where
to
we
toxin. We're
got
running
to a
containment.
point
I
where
suspect it'll
gameplay could be
continue
shown.
until the emissary and Eris Morn
I don't even know what the
can tell
fuck
us
we were
what
going to do.
Bind the Nine truly means.
So anyways, after Destiny 2 was cancelled, and now this is just kind of turning into Destiny 2 history. Shadow of War turned into Moments of Triumph. Which is the current final of Destiny 2. Moments of Triumph feels like it should have turned out. This should not have released on the deathbed of Destiny 2. Because, one, it just feels like a good game. Because one, it's really good. It's really good. Got rid of New Gear, which again, it didn't really matter in the long run. I barely even remember New Gear. I need straining to try and remember what New Gear even did. Because it was, again, it was so inconsequential that if the wiki page hasn't been updated since Edge of Fate, you know something is wrong. Anyways, that's really all I have to say on the history of Destiny 2. Speaking of wikis, the Destiny 2 wiki is Destinypedia, of course. it's in a weird shape. Not only is it, like, some pages are either incomplete or missing or only show information for Destiny 2. Some pages, like, the one for Thunderlord or Gavostar, 7G0X, 7G X. Some of those have information for both Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, but a lot of them, like, I think Shadow Price? Maybe, probably Shadow Price. One of them only has information for Destiny 2, which, no? I think it might be, it's probably Shadow Price or something. Maybe Matador 64? Something. Along those lines. No. Don't do that. Destiny 2 borrows some weapons from Destiny 1. Don't act like Destiny 2 is your first appearance, because it's not. Destiny 1 is your first appearance. Some pages that just straight up don't exist. Like the page for the missions that for the Cold Shadow Doctrine. Cold Shadow is an exotic weapon that was introduced this update. So I get why they don't have it. But, sometimes it feels like the wiki is just slacking off at this point. Or the wiki editors, or someone isn't updating the wiki. Because it don't feel like. And it really is just not, it's not okay. I thought if you want to know more about the mission,
Commander, while we have
then
you
I
on
should
the
be
line,
able to look at the wiki and say, oh, this happens, and then that happens.
Is redacting the prophecy truly necessary?
The
people of the city are in danger. They can feel it.
And
if it were
if
me,
I look at the
I'd
wiki
appreciate the
and see
intel.
nothing about
I hear your concern, Mahal. It's
about a
too
very
dangerous to tell
important
them.
mission,
But the people are
then
already on the verge
it's
of panic.
feels like the wiki guys don't care. Those might. Shit. it just feels like they don't care. Particularly because, hey, who the hell still plays Destiny 2? Now it's all about marathon. Maybe even marathon. The wiki does. At least I don't. My team doesn't have much. A lot of it is still preliminary. Preliminary stuff. And it's a shame. It's a shame, really. Because these are big games. They're just supposed to be big games, at least. And none of this is being explained in any way to new players, and it's just hard to get into for people if you don't know what the hell is happening. So those wiki entries was kind of at this point I've already kind of said my piece about things. It really does hurt the something like that the wiki needs to be updated, that the game was left in a rough state. Like it was like the game was just taken out back in shot. Like the wiki was just taken out back in shot. Because, I mean, the game is dead. No one's gonna be playing it for like weeks. Because by that point, they'll have moved on. Everyone will have moved on to Destiny. When it's not the case, that's not true. They don't just move on to Destiny. Destiny is big. Again, Destiny is very big. Loaded hours to just heal over and die. It's a disservice to those people. Especially because we were looking forward to the next DLC. I was looking forward to the next DLC. We were supposed to go to Chicago. Where is our iconic Chicago DLC? Where's our iconic Chicago DLC? We were wrong. We were wrong. Anyways, that's just my opinion. Anyways, now that I've told you about Destiny 2, how about I tell you about Destiny 1? I started playing Destiny 1 around, I want to say around 2020.
Take out that
Maybe, no, I definitely
area.
started around 2020.
Filtering for dark matter particles. The word on the Martian frontier is the Imperium is obsessed with collecting dark matter ingots and crystals.
The system has been rich with dark matter since the
I
Florian 9 activity on Kepler.
Destiny 1 after playing Destiny 2?
It's gotta
Destiny
be what's
1
powering
is
this new
not
tech.
Destiny 2. I feel like that's obvious, but they are two separate beasts. Destiny 1 was a complete game on the right. It comparatively is a much shorter experience and a much more affordable. The entire game is like $20 or something on PlayStation. And I do specify PlayStation. It's probably the same price, Xbox or something. I don't know, because I don't play on it. And I only specified Destiny. I only specified PlayStation and Xbox. Because if this surprises you in any way, Destiny 1 is a console exclusive. You cannot play Destiny 1 on PC because it released or like around 2014. PC landscape in 2014 was much different from how it is today. Consoles were usually regarded as much more powerful box than computers. Because at that point we only had like Windows 8 and Windows 10 or something like that. And a lot of PC games it was primarily things you could not play or do on the game on the console. Like, yeah, sure. There were also concurrent PC releases. Don't get me wrong. Like, Halo 2, for example, also released on the PC. And Halo 1 actually also released on the PC. But it's not like today, where we expect PC to be included in a release schedule, or where we expect the main platform people are going to play on to be PC, because that's just not how it worked. How it worked was console came first, and then PC. That's how it, which is how it was for those games as well. That's why if you own any of the Yakuza games on PC, you're going to see a pop-up that says something like Real Yakuza use gamepad. Because at that time they did. Real Yakuza did use gamepad. Because gamepads were just what they were, what was accounted for. Developers expected gamepads to be preferred over keyboard and mouse,
Fight your way
for
to
like
the exfiltration point I marked. It's inside a heavy concentration of
for like
dark
a
matter
few
energy.
cases.
Being back with a fire team reminds me
shooters
of my
or
strike
MOBAs
support
or
days,
stuff like that.
especially on Mars.
Like
Universe
with
seems simpler.
take for instance
Though
Half-Life
survival
2
has
and
remained
Half-Life
a
1.
temporary condition.
Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2
Not like
are
you to sound nostalgic, sir.
majoritively
You're right,
primarily
hang out
PC
here.
exclusive.
We'll get you out.
and more
I
specifically
guess I'm
about
feeling nostalgic.
Steam enthusiasts, but that's
Whether I
really
wanted
that's not
it or
really
not.
important.
And I really have a spare moment.
There were
Those early strikes on the Martian frontier
console releases like
were a highlight of
the
my
PS2
career.
version
Just wanted you to know. Relax.
of Half-Life 1,
You're not being disciplined.
which gave
You've
us
made it
the decay,
interesting to be your commander.
gave us decay and HD textures. Well, no, the HD textures were from Lucian, which was called like Gearbox. But and Half-Life 2 had an Xbox release. It had the original Xbox release, and it was also released on the Orange Box, which was released for PS3 and Xbox 360. And it all in addition. In addition to Half-Life 2, the Orange Box also included the episodes. Included the episodes, and as well as Portal and also Half-Life 2. God damn it, not Half-Life 2. Team Fortress 2. That also included Team Fortress 2, which on both versions was not maintained for very long. On Xbox 360, I think Half-Life... No, Team Fortress 2. God damn it. I think Team Fortress 2 only got like 6 or 7 updates, and then PS3 only got like 4. Something like 4 updates. I need to check. Hold on. $260 version of Half-Life. No. Team Fortress 2. Yeah. Oh God. The Xbox 360 only got like
The Guardian found an
4
expired
updates.
ghost out here.
And the
No physical damage, but
the
light is
PlayStation 3
completely
version.
absent from the ghost shell.
PlayStation 3 version got
Too
one
convenient not to be a weapon.
singular
Track down what the Imperium is doing.
update.
Put a stop to their operation. The city awaits your
That
return,
is how
Guardian.
fast
Commander,
they dropped that
We
version
know you have a
of
lot to
Team
handle back
Fortress 2.
home. Are you all right?
Indeed.
That's insane.
Just
That's like
checking in on old friends while I can.
holy shit. Wow. Mind you, Team Fortress at this point, Team Fortress 2 was still paid. It would not be free to play until like 2011, I think. I don't know. I joined after it went free, obviously, but at this point, having Team Fortress 2 in a paid collection was fine because you already had to pay for Team Fortress 2. So what the hell? By the time the game went free, the game had already introduced hats. It had already introduced, like, I think alternative weapons. And it had already had some balance changes. The PS3 version got one patch. For context, in that one patch, at some point between the Xbox 360 version, current version, and the PlayStation 3 current version, Devilman's default grenade launcher went from 6 shots to 4 shots. That is how quickly they made it. On one of the versions, Devilman still has 6 shots. That is unfathomable today. Games are still, or single-player games even, are still updated, like, years afterwards. Because, something broke at launch, and we probably should have fixed it, but hey, it's the age of the internet. We can just roll out an update. At this point, you had to have those updates already on the disk before you even think about rolling out, before even launching the game. You did not release a broken game unless you're like LGN or some other shovelware shovelware company, like whoever the hell made Ninja Bread Man. Fucking who made this? Who the hell made this? Wait. Data Design Interactive. Yeah. Unless you're Data Design Interactive or LGN, you do not push slop out the door. Of course, as the years went by, developers, particularly corporations, started to get very cocky with how much they could cut corners at launch, which eventually culminated in the absolute disasters that were No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk and Mind's Eye. I don't even remember if Mind's Eye was updated. That's how bad it was. Mind's Eye, for those of you who don't know, is, I want to say it's Grand Theft Auto clone? I actually don't know that much about Mind's Eye. For those of you who somehow don't know what No Man's Sky is, it's a space exploration game. Again, I don't know that much about No Man's Sky. I've played No Man's Sky, of course. I have played it.
Hey,
I
hero.
don't know a lot about it, though.
Getting into it with the syndicates.
Is that a weird distinction to make? Having played a game and then still not knowing a lot about it? I played it on, like, xCloud or something. If that, in any way, shape, or form helps. Because it's weird. It's a weird distinction to make, but it's a very important one in my eyes. And then Cyberpunk was Cyberpunk. It's a good game. But at launch, it was a shit game. not shit in the sense of, like, I have the helmet. In the sense that it was inherently bad. It wasn't. But the way it was at launch, it was awful. I don't know how the hell CD Projekt Red thought that was a good idea. I don't know how the hell they decided that launching the game in that bad of a state was more acceptable than just delaying a bit. It was probably shareholders or something, but it was just... it was an awful way to be in. It was an awful way. And then of course, actually, funny story about Cyberpunk. I have two versions. I have the Steam version, which is the one I am trying to play currently, but I don't have that much time to. And I have the PlayStation 4 version. My god, the PlayStation 4 version is a buggy mess. I have gone out of bounds. I have glitched out of bounds accidentally. I have had it crash. How do I put this? Cyberpunk on PS4 is not how you should play Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk on Steam is how you should play Cyberpunk. Not only is that version far superior, it also includes Phantom Liberty, and it is overall just much more polished than the base game. Anyways, that's all really to say that, I don't know what it's saying, actually. But, oh yeah, right. Something about, like, Orange Box, I think? I don't know what the hell I was trying to say. But the Orange Box. But fuck. At that point, but yeah, that was the state gaming was in at around the time of Destiny 1's launch. Destiny 1 released at a time where consoles were the main focal point of gaming and not computers. Sure, you could push out updates on computers, and they did it all the time. But usually, if you're going to play an online game, it was going to either be a top-down MMO on a computer, or it was going to be a first-person shooter. No, not a first-person shooter. Those are also on PC. It was going to be an MMO on a console. It was not going to be an MMO on a console and on a PC, like Final Fantasy XIV or something. That's why I had the PS3 version. Yes, I had told you I have the PS4 version. but I own and have played the PS3 version. The PlayStation 3 version of this game, of Destiny 1, in my opinion at least, is kind of bad. Particularly because it doesn't include Rise of Iron. Like with the Orange Box, Rise of Destiny 3 didn't get updated past the April update.
Guardian, Blue is still working her way through that encrypted data. Until she's done, all we can do is speculate.
Which is the last DLC of the
Spider
game. And it doesn't
claims
have
to know
Transit,
someone who
which
can
is
get us
last
behind the
update of
Imperium
game.
firewalls. It's not my first choice, but we're out of options.
Just why I got the
It's time to
PS4
make
version.
a deal, my darling friends.
But
He wants you
honestly,
to shoot through his problems.
the PS3 version,
Oh,
it's
I
fine.
missed your insight,
You can
Bo.
play it.
So direct and now so loud.
There's nothing wrong with it, actually. It's just, it's much more archaic. Well, not archaic, unrefined than the PlayStation 4 version. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't really hate the PS3 version. Have you played the PS4 version, though? But the fact that the PS4 version is complete is strange, because, as I was saying earlier, Destiny 2 is incomplete at the moment.
You like my barge? It's one of a kind.
Gears 1 and 2 are just gone. The seasonal content also is just gone.
Sails woven from Tara Bottle super silk. I could go on. Hurry to our summit, my fearsome retainer.
That is not the case with Destiny 1. Because Destiny 1 only includes, like, 4...
The Pikers did it right past.
Of course not. They
Like,
stole it from the
4
young
DLCs,
Empress Kaido.
which is the Year 1 DLCs.
We're allies. Why would
House
Kaido
of
have
Wolves,
anti-ghost
or-
encryption?
Contingencies, my dear. No, there is an outpost across the basin. The Pikers want
Dark
it.
Below and House of Wolves DLCs
Clear it
for
out.
Year 1.
The shank is
Taken King and
One last thing.
Rise of Iron.
It's a totality division, folks.
It's a much more
Make sure none of your
small
new
game,
friends survive. to
but
rat
between
you out.
Rise of Iron and Beyond Shadow, there is a gap, which consists of the Red War, which
deploying
is the
the
original campaign for Destiny 2.
If everyone involved in this transaction is on the level, this shank
Kurt
should splice
Warlight,
the Imperium data terminals for us
which
and
is-
get us their plans quick.
No,
Frankly,
before
that's a
that, Curse
big
of
if,
Osiris,
but we don't have
which,
much of a choice. If there's a weapon like this
is
out
kind
there
of
to
like,
any scale, it's too much.
which is kind of like, the Dark Below, because it introduces some Vex Matter and also introduces Osiris. Then there's Warmind, which is kind of like House of Wolves, because it kind of just happens. Of course, House of Wolves has some interest and does something. It does affect one of the other DLCs, but it's kind of just a thing. Like, yeah, I played it, but I don't remember exactly what it was. And then there's Forsaken. Forsaken was... you saw him in a room remembered as the best DLC that Destiny got for a long time. Obviously, Final Shape and Witchbone released, and those are very good campaigns.
First tranche of data.
But
Reviewing
between
it now.
those, there's Beyond Light, which is
infalling density
Beyond
reservoirs.
Light, and
Large-scale super annealing.
Shadowkeep, and
These are plans for a colossal dark
years
matter
of
projector.
seasonal content.
A system that uses the same energy as the Nine. Zavala was right. They're building a weapon.
And it was just, it was good, apparently. But I don't know if it's good. I can't say if it's good. Because from Red War to Forsaken, there's a gap, which is filled, and I'm going to show you this, which is filled by this. It is filled in with this. If you don't know what the hell I'm showing you, oh, well, okay. Well, this is the thing, I guess. If you don't know what the hell I'm showing you, this is Destiny 2's answer to what the hell happened for those 2 years. These blurbs, this blurb for the Red War, if I get something out, is the same as the blurb in the Destiny Exotic Collection, Volume 1. One is Volume 2? Yep, I have no idea, and I dropped my book. Huh. And this is not enough. This blurb is not enough to... Hold on. This blurb is not enough to justify carrying out this content. But sure, yeah, it says Dominus Gaul led Legion Cabal on assault. The last city victorious used Cabal technology to ensnare traveler and block Guardians' access to light. Guardians regathered the Vanguard and mounted yada 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 yada. But it doesn't cover anything specific about the Red War that you would get from playing the Red War. This is the same with Curse of Osiris. You don't get anything specific from Curse of Osiris. For Curse of Osiris. Just that, oh, you know, Osiris shows up, and then you rescue him, and then he goes back in, and then Warmind, oh, you go to Mars and something. It just tells you that. It doesn't tell you anything about what happens in Curse of Osiris. It doesn't tell you what happens in Warmind specifically. Forsaken as well. It just gives you a blurb about what happens in Forsaken. And then you look down here, and it just gives you a mission. One mission. And it gives you a cinematic. And then it gives you this thing. And then it gives you a blurb for Shadowkeep. But Shadowkeep you can play. This is not how you replace content. In fact, you shouldn't replace content at all, in my opinion. Content should not be replaced. Content should be played. You should not just have a blurb that says, oh, you know, Forsaken, the one where Cade 6 dies. That's it. That's all you get. You should not have that. You should let people be able to play Forsaken. This is not how you replace a DLC. This is how you delete a DLC. What happens between Rise of Iron and Shadowkeep? Who knows? I don't care. I'm just going to give you a blurb. And talking about myself for a bit here. I've done this too. I run a thing called Downfall. It uses an act structure. Because like Destiny 2, it is an evolving world. But unlike Destiny 2, I know that some things are just, you had to be there. So I try to describe everything as much as I can, in as much detail as I possibly can in a blurb. And a recap. A recap works if you have can describe to people what happened, and then like, and then gives them some kind of ability to go back and say, oh yeah, that did kind of happen. A recap does not work if you're using it to just using it to justify getting rid of content. Because at that point, you are depriving players of what they paid. Sure, it might not have been good, but at least you can play it. And know, oh, this kind of isn't good. I kind of don't want to play this. And then just play it progressively because, fuck it, I haven't played this anymore. I might as well. It's, what if you define players to say, oh, you know, this happened, and then they say, okay, but what does that mean? And you just go, that is not how you handle something that you can't go back and play. That is how you, like, that is how you go on Spark Notes and prepare for a test. That's like going to the dictionary and just looking up the definitions. And It's like looking into a dictionary, going through like a page for horse or something, and then it just says, "Oh well, everyone knows what a horse is." No, I don't. What the fuck is a horse? That is a real dictionary. Like, there's a dictionary like that somewhere. It's that kind of thinking that, like, oh well, people are gonna know what I'm talking about. That has led to very, very bad things in real life. Like, you don't know what the hell was in third shaker in Victorian shaker sets. Was it mustard? Was it like not pepper? Because we have pepper. We know they have pepper because we have pepper. Was it like sesame seeds or mustard seeds? Was it like what was it? We don't know because no one had to write it down because everyone just kind of knew it. But now that we don't know, well, we don't know. It's like that. That is what those 2 missing years are like. What was Curse of Osiris? What happened in Curse of Osiris? Well, everyone knows what happened in Curse of Osiris. No, we don't. What the fuck happened in Curse of Osiris? What was in Warmind? Well, everyone knows what's in Warmind. No, I don't. And then 50 years from now, what was in Warmind? We don't know. Because no one wrote down what was in Warmind. Things like that they're just kind of... they're terrible things. I don't know, like, playing a DLC is the same thing as, like, trying to figure out anthropology or whatever. But at the same time, games are going to be part of anthropology at some point. At some point, someone is going to look at Batman Arkham Origins and tie it to some kind of culture. Because that's just how anthropology works. Like,
the Imperium left vehicles loaded in the Walker Bay.
Studied at some point under some kind of context. That's just how history works. It's just how anthropology works. Oh, right. Damn. You're still watching? Jesus Christ. You have a long-ass attention span. How longer than mine? If I were in your shoes, I would be playing Destiny 2, listening to this video. But, I'm not doing that. So, you know. That's me. If you did watch this part, why the hell did you click on this? This is a long-ass video, and it's, like, it's borderline unedited. I don't know if I'm even gonna have a video editor, or edit this in any way, because I don't have any software. It's, you know, it's strange why we watch things sometimes. Some filmmaker or something is just going to look at this video and say, well, this guy clearly is something, communicating something. I mean, look at that, Twin Peaks reference. Yeah, how about that? I referenced something at the beginning of it. And then it's just, no. I just decided to record this because I was bored. But, you know, it's a thing. It's very much a thing.
Just received another data packet from the Shank. A moment. The nearly functional prototype is on a ship. Imperium registry. Bahaghari, pull it up on our scopes.
Wait. That's the ship Eris and I saw bleeding 9 energy. It's headed into Mars's orbit.
Stopping that ship just became our first priority.
I would say at this point, subscribe or something, or like or share or something, but I don't know who the hell is going to watch this outside of like 3 servers.
I actually decided to upload this.
You should probably go because I mean it's strange. Just die. Just die.
Guardian,
but you know, it's
hostiles converging on you.
maybe word of mouth will grace me this one time.
Syndicate's loyalty is cheap.
But very much likely
Guardian,
not.
the Pikers are trying to kill
I mean,
you.
it's I'm some no-name guy.
Kill them. The deal is off.
That no one knows about. So, you know, it's a thing. It's a thing. It's always a thing. But, I think at this point, this is going to be the closing moment of the video. Or recording, or whatever it is. This is part one you may want to do. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna tag it. So, I recently watched the Baywatch movie, and it's fine. Honestly, it was another rock flick. I'll say that much about it. It was another rock flick. Rock flicks are like this weird subgenre of created in my head. It's like the Bruce Lee movie. If Bruce Lee was an invincible man who never lost. Not once. Like, not Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan. Like a Jackie Chan flick. It's like Jackie Chan or Chuck Norris movie. Except, Jackie Chan never loses. Is always the moral paragon. And it's just the guy. He never loses. He never falters, and he is like but he is never the bad guy. He is always coming, and he never like shows a sign of weakness or something like Because I could tell you for certain, rock flips have been explained by someone better than me. I am not too qualified to talk about films. I took a CRTV class last semester. So I do know my way around the I do know my way around the film. It's just that rock flakes are very much bleed into each other at some point. Like, you have Black Adam, where The Rock wins at the end. You have Baywatch, where The Rock wins at the end. You have
What I know is saying,
like Red
that's
One,
proof.
where The
Mel and I
Rock
got the
wins
same
at the end.
needle
You
through
have
us.
Red Notice,
I can't say
where
no.
The Rock wins at the end. It gets
If some guard
boring
told you
after.
to, that's not a plan. That's a fear. Don't go.
She dies if I don't go. And I made it also. I can't say no. Tell the others I'm sorry.
It's just are very important. Again, Black Adam, Baywatch, Red One, Red Notice, all of them end The Rock in some way. In which, even like his appearance in Fast and Furious, he ends up winning. Except for Gold, he ends up winning. The only time I can remember, that he doesn't end up winning is Transformers Prime, where he was flipped up and dies. Not even in like a later episode, in the first episode. Not even later in the first episode, in like the cold open. He dies in like the cold open of the first episode. And did you know what's funny? Because at this point in Transformers, okay, a little side tangent here. At this point in Transformers, Hasbro was trying to unify all of the Transformers toy. Not like G1, because that was very much already its own thing, but at least a continuity where everything fit together nicely, which completely backfired. Because you had all these different teams, all these different projects, and Hasbro basically told them, hey, you're gonna have to tie this in with this other project. And it was strange decisions. Because the project is largely standalone. It is very much like the same thing. It doesn't really tie into anything other than its sequel. It is solid by itself.
Spider isn't here. He ran. Well, weapons free.
And overall, it's a game. It's a game made to sell toys, but those toys are of its own design, and that was good. That was very much deserved. Wolfenstein it was a good game. It was a fantastic game. Wolfenstein 2 Transformers is like it's like what Arkham Asylum is to Batman. It is the definitive Batman gameplay. Definitive Transformers gameplay experience. Obviously there was peace, and they broke this out in a simple. But otherwise, it was the premiere experience. Obviously, Before Devastation is also a game. But the thing there is that was one like Platinum Games. That's very good. Say that earlier. I have to take it now. It's a Platinum Games game, which means it's going to be a slasher, which is fine. Slashers are very good games. I love them to death. But that's for Platinum Games. It's pretty much only making slasher games and only licensed slasher games. Like Metal Gear Rising.
The Imperium's trying to override your walker. Dismount. Get out there.
That
Hearing about that's like
is very much not a Metal Gear game.
My champions.
Well, it's not a traditional Metal Gear game.
You engage.
It is a
that killed your comrades.
good Platinum game, sure, but it is not
nothing
a
of them. Not even particles to commingle with the sand.
It is a Platinum Games game.
Bottle is befouled.
It is a good game, but it is not a true Metal Gear Solid game. I mean, obviously, it's a Metal Gear Rising event.
More troopers inbound. Spider.
Whatever. The point is,
if I were there.
War for Cybertron was standalone. It did not tie into any of the other games. It did not tie into any other games other than sequel. It did not tie into any films at all. It did not tie into Transformers Prime at all. It was its own thing. And then the Aligned Continuity Initiative kind of happened. And suddenly, for the sequel, they would have to tie it in. And what they did, because Cliffjumper was in Transformers Prime, they did the weird thing that a lot of like designers do with Cliffjumper, where they just slap a new head on Bumblebee and turn him red and call him a day. Call it a day. That's not really what how Cliffjumper worked. Not even G1. Even G1.
Broadcasting over open comms. That's a brazen move. They must not consider us or the syndicates much of a threat.
And so what they did was they took the easy way was not a direct recon of Bumpy. was a remold of Bumpy in G1, but not a recolor. For those of you who don't know what the hell the difference is, a remold is a version of a mold that has been... Okay, so I'm gonna have to explain a few things. The difference between a remold, a recolor, and a new mold, harmful, is that a remold changes parts of the figure's design so that it represents a different character, other than the one that the mold was originally created. For instance, the Seekers especially the Siege Seekers, those are all directly. Obviously, there's Thundercracker and Skywarp Starscream, but there's also like Messine, Cell. There's a Cell, then. Nacelle is the one that flips the point is, those are all just different colors. Largely, they are just different colors. An example of a remold would be like the sound waves that we got in the past few years, or speaking of the Seekers, the Earthrise version of the Seeker mode, while it was used to turn into a jet, by and large, it is still the same mold as the Siege version. It's just worse in a lot of ways. For instance, there's no hip swivel, there's no like no ankle tilt somehow. And overall, the Earthrise version of Sequel mode is just a worse experience. I know this because I have the Rust, I think? Thrust version of the Sequel mode. Which, yeah, it's okay. Conehead version, but it is still the Sequel mode. just a different version of that mold. A new mold is a version of the character that is ostensibly the same, but is an entirely different mold. For instance, the newer 86, take for instance, the newer 86 Secret Mold. Those are iterative CC are not secret. They are very distinct and very different from
the Imperium is transmitting bombs onto the back.
very distinct and very different.
No, you know what? No way. Too many. Just get out of here.
Very distinct and very different from the Earthrise serial. Which on its own,
look, Spider's barge is gone.
Sounds
nothing we can do
weird.
About it now.
Like, if they
Let's
already
go, Guardian.
have a mold for this, why would they do it again? But in retrospect, it was sorely needed. That Earthrise Secret Mold was bad. People hated it, and it was in use for so long that, like, that before the current 86 Secret Mold, Starscream's 86, first 86 outing, I don't know if they're going to have a Starscream version of the 86 mold, because so far we only have Thundercracker and Skywarp, actually, funnily enough. But it's very likely that they are going to do Starscream. That, they are not the same. For instance,
the Spicer Shank's safe, and that Imperium disk is as good as decrypted, but
the 86 Secret Mold has a hip slope and ankle tips, and is overall just looks better than whatever the hell the Earthrise Secret Mold we had was. And then a partial is essentially all of the above except for a new mold. A partial is anything from a recolor to a recolor to an extensive retooling. Retooling is also what a remold is called sometimes. But I mean, a remold, all it takes for a remold to be called a remold is does the mold use all of the same parts? If the answer is no, because, like, the head has changed, then no. It is not a recolor, it is a remold.
Telemetry confirms Drifter fired off his NLS drive. He's long gone. That warship that fired on Tharsis has left orbit. Imperium Command Net just lit up with chatter that a weapons test has concluded That was nightfall. Sorry, boss. Ida was at ground zero in the blast. She's okay. But you better come on back.
All it takes for a retool to be a retool is that the head is different. And that is what most people do with...
I didn't understand what was happening at first.
That is what most people do with
all those guardians,
cliff jump.
ghosts.
They take Bumblebee
Dozens of
and
casualties, every one of them irreplaceable.
change his head or something.
And Drifter has disappeared
And turn him
without a
red.
trace.
And they call it day. That is not how
Always
Cliff
cuts and
Jumper
runs we
works.
can't rely on.
Cliff Jumper turned to a Porsche, like a 936.
Horrible light. How many guardians would those
Bumblebee
ghosts have found?
turned into
How many people would they have saved?
Volkswagen Beetle.
Bale was right there. All I could do was hide.
For now, we should focus on stopping Bale. The city is his next target. The
So,
Vanguard will be
at least
focused on
having
preparing for an
them be
extinction-level
different,
event. In the meantime, we have
vehicles,
leads to follow.
even if the bits end up in
Guardian,
the same place.
we need you ready.
At least that would be good. But, and that's even how it is in Transformers Prime. The show they were obligated
Thinks his
to
vision is saying
tie
Ares will
into.
die if he doesn't. As if we can't change that. I'm through trying to stop his foolishness. He can chase the 9 without me.
They have very distinctly different body types to each other. Cliff Jumper turns into a muscle car, like an old muscle car, like a, not old. I'd say like a Dodge Challenger or something, Dodge Charger, something like that. While Bumblebee turns into a much more sleek sports car. Otherwise, so the people in Transformers Prime knew how to do Cliff Jump. They knew that he was not the same as Bumblebee, and that they had to change at least like something about his vehicle mode. That is not how Fall Cybertron handled it. Because that is not what they wanted to do. Or at the very least, they did not initially intend to have Cliff Jumper. And they didn't really want to make a new model for it. For his ground out. This is also the reason why Bumblebee's voice box is damaged in Fall Cybertron without any real explanation. Other than, like, at the end. Because, again, they had to tie it into Transformers Prime, which very much the two were not initially in the same, like,
Yes, Guardian?
in the same continuity as each other. Hasbro, on the other hand, kind of forced that onto them. So they had to make changes and stuff, and yeah. But overall, Fallen Cybertron still feels like its own thing. It doesn't try too hard to lean into Transformers Prime. And then Rise of the Dark Spark happened. Rise of the Dark Spark was not a good game. I remember trying to play it, like, a long time. This is, like, after I bugged my copy of...
Need something new?
Fallen Cybertron, because I was a stupid, dumb little baby boy, and I now need another PlayStation. But fuck. But Rise of the Dark Spark tried to tie in War for Cybertron, and I trying not to joke about this, and tried to tie in War for Cybertron with the movies. The movies with War for Cybertron. They are not compatible in any way, shape, or form. The movies operate on their own kind of weird logic. Like, if you try to fit Transformium, which, by the way, stupid ass name, it should have been called something like Cybertronium, or like fuck, even Rhymocene, something like that. Not like its own element, because, like, there's no way that Transformers are made entirely of their own unique element. They're probably made out of, like, an alloy or something. Not like this weird fucking programmable matter like Glimmer or something. Because that's stupid. And that just leads to lazy animations in Age of Extinction. I fucking hate Age of Extinction. I need to watch it again so I can be reminded of how much I fucking hate Age of Extinction. But Transformium, you cannot tell me that Transformium exists in the same universe as, like, as horrific science experiments where like a prisoner of war gets turned, gets lobotomized and forced to transform into a dinosaur.
Eververse has the goods.
Those two are mutually incompatible with each other. Rise of the Dark Spark was bad. Not only because it was, like, trying to be like this weird crossover It was also trying to be the tie-in movie, tie-in game to Age of Extinction, which itself is bad. So I think kind of that rubbed off on Rise of the Dark Spark too much. But anyways, that's besides the point.
I can fix this.
Transformers game should be good. If you take away anything from this rant, it's that War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron deserve at least some kind of re-release. I know Hasbro no longer has their deal with Activision, and I know they don't have any sort of deal for any sort of game going on right now. But please, by God, at least work something out so we can play like an enhanced or at least just ported version of War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron on like an Xbox One or Series X or PS5 or something. I would kill for that, honestly. Like a complete War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron collection. That would fuck. That would honestly just fuck. But you know, it's Hasbro. We're never gonna get that. We're never gonna get anything. But that's kind of it. I guess I'm not gonna continue. It's late or early. I don't know. So that if you want to share this, I guess. If you're seeing this from somewhere I shared it, hello. This is my first recording, I guess. I don't know how long this is going to be. It's probably going to be multiple hours because I don't want to edit this in any way, shape, or form. I don't think I have to edit it because it's basically me just talking over Destiny 2. But with that, goodbye, I guess. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'll probably do something more like this, maybe, if I decide to